What's good, YouTube? Another Grand Slam. American RX at it again. This time we're going to be building an Operation Paperclip, the foundation of NASA secret space program. All this fraud about landing on the moon. Bunch of baloney, okay? Let's get to it. Operation Paperclip was a secret program of the Joint Intelligence Objective Agency, largely carried out by special agents of Army CIC, which more than 1,600 German scientists, pay attention, engineers and technicians such as Werner von Braun and his V-2 rocket team were taken from Germany to the United States for US government employment. Now, full stop. If this was supposedly a world war against Germany during this time, right? And the US allied with England to fight Germany, how is it that they employed, right, German scientists, right, from the Nazi Party? Okay? US government primarily between 1945 and 1959, many were former members and some were former leaders of the Nazi Party. People. Now, put this in perspective, people. Now you wonder where all your eugenics program came from. Who controls the narrative? Okay? It's a Nazi. They're here. Okay? They're the NASA. They're all these people in power. Okay? The National Socialist German Workers' Party, right? Commonly referred to in English as Nazi Party, was a far-right political party in Germany that was active between 1920 and 1945 that created and supported the ideology of National Socialism. Its precursor, the German Workers' Party, existed from 1919 to 1920. The Nazi Party emerged from German nationalist, racist, and populist Freikorps paramilitary culture, right? Which fought against the communist uprising in post-World War I Germany. Okay? Right? So they're pretty much the same people. But they're racist. That's how they put it, right? The primary purpose of Operation Paperclip was US military advantage in the Soviet-American Cold War and the space race, right? The Soviet Union was more aggressive in forcibly recruiting more than 2,200 German specialists, a total of more than 6,000 people, including family members, with Operation Osowiakim during one night on October 22, 1946. Joint Chiefs of Staff established the first secret recruitment program called Operation Overcast on July 20th, 1945, initially to assist in shortening the Japanese War and to aid our post-war military research. Okay? All that stuff is a cover-up, alright? The term Overcast was the name first given by German scientists, family members for a housing camp where they were held in Bavaria. In late summer 1945, JSCS established GIOA, a subcommittee of the Joint Intelligence Community, directly oversee Operation Overcast and later Operation Paperclip. The GIOA representatives include the Army Director of Intelligence, the Chief of Naval Intelligence, the Assistant Chief of Air Staff, Air Force Intelligence, Staff 2, and a representative from the State Department. In November 1945, Operation Overcast was renamed Operation Paperclip by Ordnance Corps, United States Army officers. So these are the same Nazi people who run the space program NASA, okay? The Army, okay? This is where your eugenics came from, right? From these Germans, right? And they were hand in hand with the US, okay, who would attach a paperclip to folders of those rocket experts. Remember, they want to shoot rockets in the sky, right? To go to the moon, right? Which they never did. There's no going up, there's no passing that dome. Whom they wish to employ in America. The secret directive circulated September 3, 1946. President Truman officially approved Operation Paperclip, expanded to include 1,000 German scientists under temporary limited custody. So, what was this war about? What was this war about? If they are in hand with the Nazi Germany, that means they're, they approved of the Nazi, right? They made them see the Nazis seem like such a bad people or bad group when they themselves were employing them, right? Go to space. In the later part of World War II, Nazi Germany found itself at a logistical disadvantage, having failed to conquer the USSR with Operation Barbarossa. The siege of Leningrad, 1941 to January 1944. Operation Northern Light, October 1942. Battle of Stalingrad. The failed conquest had depleted German resources, and its military-industrial complex was unprepared to defend the Robert's Reich, Greater German Reich, against the Red Army westward counterattack. By early 1943, the German government began recalling from combat on about scientists, engineers, and technicians. They returned to work in research and development of bolster German defense for protracted war against USSR. The recall from the frontline combat 4,000 rocketeers returned from Peenemünde in northeast coastal Germany. Right? So, the Nazi government recalled their now useful intellectuals for scientific work, first required identifying and locating the scientists, engineers, and technicians, and asserting their political and ideological reliability. Werner Ausberg, the engineer scientist heading the whatever this is, I can't pronounce all that in German. Werforschungs, right? Gemeinschaft Defense Research Association recorded the names of political cleared men to Ausenberg list, thus reinstating them to scientific work. March 1945, Bonn University, a Polish laboratory technician, found pieces of Ausenberg list stuffed in the toilet. The list subsequently reached M16, who transmitted it to U.S. intelligence, right? MI6, okay? So this is a foreign intelligence program. You ever watch 007? Okay? That's your MI6 right there. Who transmitted it to U.S. intelligence, then U.S. Army Major Robert E. Staber, okay? Let's get down here. So this is where they created NASA, okay? I'm gonna show it to you. So, the NASA Distinguished Service Medal is the highest award which may be bestowed on national aeronautics, okay, and space administration. NASA, after more than 2 decades of service leadership, NASA, for Operations Paperclips, okay, 4 Operation Paperclip members were awarded the NASA Distinguished Medal Service Medal in 1969, right? Kurt DeBus, Eberhard Rees, Arthur Rudolph, Wernher von Braun, Ernst Geisler was awarded medal in 1973. Department of Defense Distinguished Civilian Service Award is the highest civilian award given by the United States Department of Defense after 2 decades of service. Operation Paperclip member Siegfried Niemeyer was awarded Department of Defense Civilian Service Award. The Goddard Astronautics Award is the highest honor bestowed for notable achievements in the field of astronautics. American Institute of Astronautics, for their service. 3 Operation Paperclip members were awarded Goddard Astronautics Award, right? The U.S. Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville, Alabama owns and operates the U.S. Space Camp. Several Operation Paperclips members are members of Space Camp Hall of Fame, which began in 2007. Okay, so when you're talking about NASA, right? You're talking about Operation Paperclip. Okay. Before his official approval of the program, President Truman for 16 months was indecisive on the program. Years later, in 1963, Truman recalled that he was not the least reluctant to approve Paperclip, that because of relations with Russia, okay, Russia, you got relations with Russia, right? It's had to be done and was done. Several of the Paperclip scientists were later investigated because of their links with Nazi Party during the war. As if they didn't know that, right? Only the one Paperclip scientist, George Whitney, was formally tried for any crime, and no Paperclip scientist was found guilty of any crime in America or Germany. Okay? Ricky was returned to Germany in 1947 to stand trial at Dora trial, right, where he was acquitted. So he was acquitted. In 1951, weeks after his U.S. arrival, Walter Schreiber was linked by the Boston Globe to human experiments conducted by Kurt Bloom at Ravensbrück, and he immigrated to Argentina with the aid of U.S. military. Okay, so the United States military is helping these Nazi to accommodate them to live in the Americas. All right. In 1984, under perceived threat of persecution relating to his connection as operations director of V-2 missile production to the use of forced labor from Maitboa at Mittelwerk, announced his visa citizenship, moved to West Germany, which granted him citizenship. For 50 years from 1963 to 2013, Struggle Award named after Hubertus Strugard, the father of space medicine, right? So the Germans, the Nazi, they're the ones who created NASA, okay? Another word for NASA is Nazi, okay? All right, these are the scientists right here who arrived. 104 rocket scientists arrived during the World War from Germany. A group of 104 rocket scientists, right? Aerospace engineers at Fort Bliss, Texas. See that? So if you hear, many had worked to develop V-2 rocket and Peenemünde, Germany, and came to US after World War II, subsequently working on various rockets, including Explorer 1 space rocket and Saturn rocket at NASA. Titles and captions in published books. Von Braun rocket team at Fort Bliss. Members of the German rocket team who worked on rockets or Army ordnance on the Paperclip are shown at White Sands Proving Ground in New Mexico. So all these people are Germans. You know what I'm saying? All of them are Nazi. Okay? They were a part of Adolf Hitler, right? The Allied zone of occupation post-war Germany highlight the Soviet zone red, German border, okay? So this is a picture of the rocket launching in 1943. This is before the so-called moon landing, right? Right? So this is a V-2 rocket launching on the northeast Baltic German coast. So I guess before these scientists came here, they weren't launching rockets. The United States wasn't really launching any rockets. So how is it that all of a sudden in 1962, what year did they went to the, or in the 60s, 1969 or one of these years, they just all of a sudden landed on the moon. And you cannot pass the dome. Okay? So, there you go, people. Your NASA, or your secret space program was created by Germans. Okay, from the Nazi Party. Okay, so this was a good bill. I'm out.